Case File TR 740. Freed 4009 shows a woman standing at the tree line. Frame 410 shows the same woman standing behind the camera. The trail camera belonged to Harrow County Parks, mounted on a white oak above a deer path in the North Preserve. Its purpose was ordinary: count coyotes, monitor illegal dumping, and prove to the county board that the missing grant money had purchased equipment rather than excuses. It captured raccoons, fog, one black bear, 3 teenagers with beer, and on October 9th at 4:12 a.m., a woman in a gray dress facing the lens. The first image is unremarkable until measured. She stands 62 meters away, barefoot, hair hanging forward, hands at her sides. The temperature metadata reads 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, though the ambient air was 41. Frame 402. The woman is at 62 meters. Frame 403. 55 meters. Frame 404. 48. Each frame was triggered 30 seconds apart. She does not blur. She does not stride. Feet remain together, toes pointed slightly inward, as if she is being placed closer between exposures. Frame 405 records no animal movement, yet the camera triggers. The woman is at 37 meters. Her face is still hidden by hair. The infrared flash reflects from her eyes through the hair in 2 pale points, too low on the head. Frame 406, 21 meters. The gray dress is wet from the hem to the waist. Not with rain. There was no precipitation. Lab analysis found traces of river silt, formaldehyde, and amniotic fluid. Frame 407, 9 meters. Her mouth is visible now. It is open, not screaming, receiving. Frame 408 is the last image in which the tree line appears behind her. She stands 3 meters from the camera, head tilted back so that the hair parts just enough to show no nose, no cheeks, only a dark vertical seam where the face should be. The seam is stitched with fishing line. Frame 419 is corrupted in the archive preview, but not in the original file. It shows the woman inches from the lens. One hand reaches toward it. Her fingertips are pruned as if from long immersion. On her wrist is a hospital band. To you the Lord, to reading on the bless of the words out of the paw. Even before the dam I shows it these months. This was when the Parks Department stopped treating the images as a prank. The Registry received the SD card after Ranger Eli Mott attempted to retrieve the camera, and was found walking the preserve road at dawn, carrying the oak's bark in both hands. He had removed a perfect rectangle from the tree around the camera mount. The camera itself was gone. Ranger Mott insisted it had never been on the tree. He said it had been mounted inside him. Medical examination found a square bruise over his sternum, matching the camera's dimensions. Beneath the bruise, his heartbeat clicked every 30 seconds. Evidence log A consists of the original image sequence. Evidence log B is the metadata. Evidence log C is Ranger Mott's statement, taken under light sedation after he began turning his head toward corners whenever anyone said the word frame. He reported finding the camera still attached to the oak, but facing inward, lens pressed against bark. When he touched it, he saw a river at night. A woman floated face down among reeds. People with flashlights called a name he could not remember. The woman lifted her head from the water and looked through the river, through the camera, through him. She said, "You kept the wrong image." The Harrow County Archive revealed a 1983 missing person case. Lydia Vane, 26, last seen near the North Preserve boat launch. Her body was recovered 11 days later from the river, but the official identification relied on a photograph taken by a deputy because dental records were delayed. The photograph was lost before trial. The suspect, Lydia's husband, was released. Registry analysts compared the trail camera figure to Lydia Vane. Height matched. Dress matched witness descriptions. The hospital band did not. Lydia had not been hospitalized before death. Then, frame 411 appeared. It was not on the SD card during intake. It appeared in the evidence database after analyst Rue opened the folder at 2:03 a.m. The image showed the registry evidence room from ceiling height. Analyst Rue sat at her desk below, looking at frame 410 on her monitor. Behind her stood the woman in gray. The timestamp was 5 minutes in the future. Rue followed emergency protocol. She did not turn around. She closed her eyes and placed both hands flat on the desk. The room's security camera captured condensation forming on the concrete floor behind her. A wet handprint appeared on the back of her chair. Then another image loaded on her monitor without input. Frame 412. Analyst Rue, eyes closed, seen from inside her own monitor. The woman stood behind the glass of the screen, closer than reflection allows. The entity was not traveling through space. It was traveling through observation. Each act of viewing became a new camera. Lens, eye, memory, dream. Anything that framed her provided a shore. Containment required destroying neither files nor hardware. Deletion counted as review. Instead, the registry printed every frame onto untreated paper and submerged the prints in river water collected from Lydia Vane's recovery site. The images bled. The woman receded frame by frame until only reeds remained. All digital copies were sealed in blind storage, accessible only by machines with no display output. Personnel exposed to the sequence underwent memory deframing, a procedure involving darkness, verbal noise, and the repeated description of rooms without corners. It mostly worked. Ranger Mott still wakes every 30 seconds on bad nights. Analyst Rue cannot look through windows after rain. The oak in the preserve died from the inside out, leaving a hollow square where Harkwood should be. Children hiking the trail have reported a woman in gray standing very far away. Then, not quite as far. Then close enough that their parents hurry them back to the car without knowing why. The final note in case file TR7140 concerns a photograph found on Lydia Vane's original missing person bulletin. The bulletin had been scanned years before the incident. In the archived scan, Lydia smiles beside a river, alive, face clear. In the physical bulletin recovered from county storage, Lydia's face is gone. A dark seam stitched with fishing line replaces it. On the back, written in water-damaged ink, is a sentence no one has claimed. "You kept the picture where he looked innocent." The registry has not reopened the murder case. That decision is above my clearance. The preserve remains open during daylight, with trail cameras removed under the explanation of budget cuts. If you find an old camera in the woods, do not check the last image. If a photograph shows someone standing far away where no one should be, do not zoom in. If the next image brings them closer, close your eyes before curiosity becomes a door. Some dead do not haunt places. They haunt proof.